The weekend is here. Well, it is for me. I'm off tomorrow, having a short break. I'm going away for a few days and I am looking forward to it. It's all about the pointer this weekend, isn't it? For you that watched other videos, you get me. Anyway, 90% of this show is rubbish. It's the West Ham Transfer Rumour show where we take a look at stuff that's probably made up. It's not going to stop me doing the video tonight because I'm away for the weekend. Did I tell you I'm going away for the weekend? I'm going away. Anyway, starting with something that's a bit factual, actually, and that's Roberto. He is moving to Spanish club Real Valladolid, Real something. Surprise inclusion on the bench on Tuesday in the friendlies. Gave everybody a bit of a scare, especially the West Ham defence. But he's away. Free transfer. They're not giving us any money. However, it's going to cost West Ham a little bit because we're going to have to pay half his wages. Apparently he's on 40 grand a week at West Ham currently, so therefore we're going to have to pay 20 grand a week, which works out at, what, I don't know, 40 weeks between now and the end of June, £900,000. Let's round up to £1 million because everyone else seems to be rounding up figures to suit the club's expenditure, so I'm going to do that as well. It's now £3 million we're saving on Roberto's wages between now and the end of August. It's too far, I'm aware, but it's something that annoys me a little bit. When we signed Roberto a year ago, him and David Marty came in and we got told fantastic business by the club, they're so cheap that combined their wages were less than that of Adrian, who just departed. A year later, today, with hindsight, which is he's a crap goalkeeper, suddenly his wages seem to have gone up a bit. Funny how that works, isn't it? So I decided to round it up as well. Anyway, on to something half factual now. That's Eze. It looks like he's away to join Crystal Palace. What's that got to do with West Ham? Because I do believe David Moyes wanted Eze. I do believe he was his number one pick out of everybody, ignoring what we need, i.e. defenders. If you could have any player, positions, if we had competent fullbacks, who would you want? I think he would have went for him. So this is where I always think a manager should be backed and left to do or die on his own sword a little bit, and I think this was David Moyes' sword. And if you're not going to get your first choice, you better make damn sure you go get your second or third choice. And I'm a bit worried we're not really going to do that either. We don't know who those are. We've maybe got an inkling that one might be Shea Duffy, one might be a right back that's coming later on in this video, but we don't know for sure. But I do believe in the Eze thing, and it's just a bit of a shame. But the good thing for David Moyes, or the good thing David Moyes has done here, if he has done this, let's pretend we have money for a minute for the sake of my own argument, otherwise it's just like the rumours, 90% bollocks. But I think what Pellegrini and Huselos did a year ago was the mistake that Moyes is not doing. I think with Pablo Fornals, they went after a player because they thought they had a real talented player there and there was an opportunity to go get him at what they considered to be a good price, a fair or a cheap price essentially, and they went after the player and they perhaps ignored the positions because we'd already had Felipe Anderson, we had Lanzini, we had Diangana, we had plenty of players at the club in Fornals' position, which we still don't really know what it is, so we didn't need the Fornals role filled, but I think they took the opportunity to go get the player. I think David Moyes has been presented with such a case here with Eze where he could go, or he could have went after the player anyway, but he's not done that in order to fill out the fullbacks or the defence anyway because he considers it as a priority. I don't know. Either way, I don't think we could have afforded him. But we're going to move on to Diangana now. Now, this is not so much of a rumour, more of a geo thought, which is pretty dangerous. But I noticed that they put in a late bid for Eze. They tried to pinch them from Crystal Palace with a bid up to 20 million, worth 20 million. So let's just say 15 million, 5 million add-ons for the sake of the argument here. That suggests that A, they've got a bit of money, and B, they're looking for someone that can play in the Diangana role that's not Diangana. But supposedly they're going to turn their attentions back. I think they've messed up. I think West Brom have messed this right up because hopefully, possibly surely, Grady's going to turn around and go, well, hang on a minute, I'm not your first choice, as he was, so why would I want to come there now? I think they've missed the opportunity to go get him because David Moyes has now had a look at him in West Ham colours. Sebastian Aller's come out, and I don't normally pay attention to what managers and players say because they're media trained, you get the same old. But the one thing that Aller said that stood out for me was there was a bit of a selfish comment there. He spoke about Diangana and his ability to provide goals, and he basically said goals for me. He didn't say, oh yeah, he's going to create lots of assists for everybody. He said no, he's going to set goals up for me, and I like that. It's basically Aller saying that's the guy I want delivering the balls, And Ali are saying put me up front and get him out wide and I will score goals. Like, I've just scored a hat-trick for you. I just thought it was interesting. I think West Brom have maybe slipped up, not going for Diangana, but the warning sign perhaps is that they've clearly got, I say clearly got money, they've got some money if the bid for Eze was as genuine as it's been made out to be. But they're also a way to buy someone else we're looking at, Kipre, the Wigan centre-back. We know David Moyes went to a Wigan game. He was literally pictured there. And there was only two players that it could be, Robinson and Kipre. Now, Robinson's gone to Fulham, so either it wasn't him Moyes was looking at, or Moyes thought he was rubbish, one of the two. Or we can't afford 2 million, I don't know. 900,000, he's off to West Brom for 900,000 apparently, and it looks like we're not going to make a move. So either Moyes doesn't like him, or we can't even afford 900,000, which is what we just saved with Roberto for the year. So I don't know, maybe we can, we just don't like him. Now, time for some of the made-up stuff, the real rubbish. Morgan Sanson, one of Gonzo's favourite non-Premier League players, has been linked to us for about the 5th transfer window in a row. 25 million. 25 million? We don't even have 2.5 million. So we can dismiss this one. But, like, I get that the journalists have to make stuff up. I understand it. They're playing a game. Right, I'm playing a game right now. I'm doing a video for YouTube to get people to watch it. Everyone's playing games of their own sorts. So journalists are doing their own thing, trying to get clicks to their website, which drives revenue. At least be creative. I mean, I could sit here and come up with 50 more believable rumours than that. It's just a copy and paste job from the January transfer window, isn't it? Anyway, moving on. Higuain, we're being linked to him now. He's free. Pirlo's gone into Juve, told him, Khedira, Matuidi, get out. You're rubbish. You passed it. Away you go. And rubbish passed him free is something David Sullivan thinks. Yeah, I'll have a little bit of that. And crikey, I hope we don't. But the option was, because we've only got one fit recognised striker at the minute. Antonio's not a striker. He's done well there, but he's not a striker. We've got one striker, Sebastian Haller. And if the option was Sebastian Haller and no other strikers, or Sebastian Haller and Higuain, I think I'd choose Sebastian Haller and no other strikers, to be honest with you. He's the Argentinian Glenn Murray. He used to be fantastic. Like, don't get me wrong, he used to be one of the best strikers in the world of football. But that he is not anymore. We saw him at Chelsea, he struggled with the Premier League. He admitted himself he struggled with the Premier League. Scored a couple of bangers though. I think one of them was against Arsenal, wasn't it? He just 20 yards out, absolutely ripped the net off with his shot. But even that was a couple of seasons ago. He's gone downhill since then, even further. I do not want to see him at West Ham. He would cost a lot of money. I don't think this is true. I think this is just slightly more creative journalism than the Morgan Sanson one, though. Matty Cash's name is popping back up. Now, over the course of doing these shows, you sort of start to second guess as to who David Moyes' main target is. And there's 3 names I do think is up there in David Moyes' top 5, if you like. I think there's 1 or 2 we don't know. We just don't know. They're secret. Eze, Matty Cash and Shane Duffy. I do believe those 3 are genuine links. And the Matty Cash thing's back, but the price tag's 15 million. Difference is this time other clubs are being linked to him as well, such as Aston Villa. Wolves need someone. And that surprised me, to go off a tangent for a minute. Doherty is away to Spurs for 15 million. I thought it was a very low fee, to be honest with you. I think he's been one of the more solid I know he's a right wing back, but just bear with me. He's been one of the more solid right backs in the Premier League the last couple of seasons. So I'm surprised it's 15 million. However, given how well Wolves are run, I'm going to assume that they've got some sort of plan here. Maitland-Niles are being linked with, who would be a fantastic signing. Would like to see him at West Ham, to be honest with you. But I'm not convinced Maitland-Niles fancies himself as a right wing back. I think part of the reason he wants to leave Arsenal is because he's been moved around constantly and he wants to have a position. But Kieran Trippier is supposedly available from Atletico Madrid. And I just wish we could afford him, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Wolves. That's a geo prediction for you. But back to West Ham transfer rumours. And we've got one name tonight that I cannot pronounce and I've never heard of. So, Mykola Matuyenko. He's a centre-back from Shakhtar Donetsk who can also play left-back. Now, apologies for butchering his name. However, I've left a link to his player profile on Transfer Market in the description below, so just click that link and you'll see who I'm talking about and find out about him. I know nothing about him, never heard of him, so can't pass judgment. And it moves on to my last and final rumour, which is Jack Wilshere is being linked to the MLS. Now, it seems a bit like, yeah, alright at start, but there might be more to it. I can understand why we're trying to get rid of Jack Wilshere. I could even understand why Jack Wilshere was wanting to get out, because he was fit at the end of the season, but Moyes gave him a couple of cameo roles and that was it. So either Moyes don't trust him, Moyes don't like him, Moyes is maybe trying to protect him, like he doesn't want to break down. But bear in mind, we're in a relegation battle. I don't think you can protect a player from injuries in that situation. You've got to play your best 11 and hope for the best, really. And Jack wasn't involved enough, which would insinuate that Moyes just isn't keen on him. That's all right. So would he go to the MLS? I can see why he would. Try and go there and make something out of his career, which is just getting worse every season that goes by, isn't it? 100 grand a week, though, it's a lot of wages. If we can get him off the books, I think it would be good business for West Ham. It's a shame it's not worked out, and we'll leave it there. We'll go down as an absolute claustrophobic signing from West Ham, an expensive failure, but I can still understand why we signed him. Maybe not the 3-year part. I still understand why we took him in, because when Pellegrini first arrived, he would have been looking at the squad he's taken over. There was just no creativity in there at all. Yao Mario was probably one of the more creative players, and he departed. His loan was finished, so I can understand why he brought Jack in. But it's a gamble. It was a gamble. It's not worked out. It's as simple as that, really. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. I'm going away. Did I tell you? I'm going away for a little break. That I am. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. If there's a game on Saturday, there is a game on Saturday. If there's a live stream of the West Ham Brentford game, Charlie and Tom will be doing a watch along. Then it'll be followed up with a review of the friendly immediately after. So make sure you pop back on Saturday for that. Subscribe if you're around here, and I shall catch you when I'm back after the weekend. Be good.